Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a different kind of video. I just want to post videos. I want to be on YouTube. I want to be a YouTuber. I'm not saying I want to be professional. I don't think I'm ever going to be professional, but I just like to post, okay? And I like to record. And I personally like these kind of videos, so I'm thinking someone else out there might too. So I'm going to be doing Am I the Asshole on Reddit. So, this is just all my opinions. I don't know anybody in these. It's just my opinion. And I just got out of the shower, so your girl's a little hot. Alright, so, am I the asshole if my boyfriend made a meal and asked me how it was and I said fine? Now, based on the title, I would say no, you're not the asshole, but let's read. So, my boyfriend made chicken breast with some white rice, a salad with garlic, and we had some pickles and beetroot on the side from jars. And we sit down and he says, "How is it?" And I said, "Fine, there's nothing special, everything tastes as it should." And he got upset and said he added extra garlic in the lettuce and soy sauce on the breast. And I said I am not used to making comments about food like he is in his family. When we eat with his mother, everyone has to say something along the lines of "How delicious, this is so tasty, yum," at every meal. In my family, we probably find that behavior a bit fake. We just sit down and talk about other things, and if there was something new in the food, then that would be a normal question to ask how it was. So he got really upset because I should have just said it's great or it's good instead of a normal and not very enthusiastic "It's fine, everything tastes as it should." And he proceeded to pick his plate up and left to eat in the office. I don't feel like partaking in a family tradition I don't feel is natural. I feel like I am forced to say something I don't care about it or don't believe in. It's chicken breast and white rice. I mean, am I the asshole for not making a bigger deal out of a simple meal? Is he overreacting, or should I just be fake and oblige and say it's really tasty every single effing meal? So, as someone who does a lot of the cooking, at first, I would ask Chris, how it tastes, if it's good, if she likes it, and she would be brutally honest and tell me whether she liked it or not. And a lot of the time she didn't. And, I got kind of sick of cooking then for a little bit. And, personally, I thought, I took the time out of my day to cook a meal for us. You could have just had nothing. So, I can understand why he's upset. I can't say you're the asshole though. You're like you said, like you're not used to complimenting people on their food. Could you have said, maybe something a little nicer, maybe, but I don't think you're the asshole. Let's see what some of these comments say. He and his family are used to words of affirmation as ways to show love. You don't have to use flowery language, but you could have said, "It's good, babe. Thanks for making dinner." What you said was a deliberate snub, and that's why you're the asshole. This one says, "You're the asshole. You, honey, how do I look?" Him, fine. That's what you did, and you know it. I don't know. I don't think they're an asshole. Could they have been nicer? Yes. This one said, "You're the asshole if someone makes you food and then asks you about their food. The first thing out of your mouth should be a compliment, even a small one like 'it's nice.' Constructive criticism can be given after that. This is some basic rules of living in a relationship, family, society, which has nothing to do with your family or how you were raised. This is just politeness towards someone you love and live with. These are some small things that make a lot of difference." Very good points. I agree with that. However, I don't think you're the asshole. I don't think it's an asshole thing to do. Do I like it when Chris does it? Absolutely not. It really hurts in the gut. But they're being honest. Let's look up "Am I the Asshole" food. Let's just stick with one topic-ish, kind of. Am I the asshole for being possessive over my food? So I'm going to get straight to the point. Today, I brought wings and fries. I didn't finish it all, so I put it in the fridge so I could have it later. A few hours later, I go into the fridge, and it was all gone. Mind you, there was 4 wings and a whole container of fries in there. It was just me, my mom's boyfriend, and his son, so I asked mom's boyfriend where my food went, and he said he gave it to his son. Obviously, I was upset because 1, you didn't even ask, and 2, you gave all of it to him knowing he wouldn't finish it, so now half of the food I paid for is sitting in the trash. I told him to stop feeding my food to his son without asking, which he does all the time. He'll take my food from the fridge and just give it to his son. He never ever asks. Like, I don't mind sharing, but I feel like taking my things without asking isn't nice. He told me I'm being possessive over food and that it's not that deep. Sam also said I'm 16 refusing to share with an 8-year-old as if I'm a toddler. So am I the asshole? No, absolutely not. Especially if you're only 16 and you're buying your own food. I don't think that's asshole behavior because, 1, like you said, he didn't ask. Had he asked, and you probably would have said, yeah, sure, fine, whatever. Definitely not the asshole, though. Not the asshole. Why can't Sam provide food for his son without the aid of a 16-year-old? Very true. Not the asshole. Might be time to invest in a mini fridge for your room. Very good point. Why is your mother letting her boyfriend steal food from her child? Have you asked her why she is allowing this? You're a child. You are her child. She's responsible for taking care of you first. Her boyfriend has a child. He is responsible for taking care of his child. She needs to step up and protect you, her child. The original poster said, my mom is kind of on his side. She tells him to stop, but she agrees with him. She says that since I'm an adult now, I need to stop being immature and picking unnecessary fights. Okay, I don't think you're immature or picking a fight. Yeah, I agree. The boyfriend should have come up with his own food for his child, especially when you're not an adult, you're 16, and purchasing your own food. Definitely not the asshole. The boyfriend is the asshole. And your mom, I grew up with a mother that chose, her men over her children. So, your mom, that was not right. Am I the asshole for keeping food from my wife? It says not the asshole, but let's read. My wife loves fruit. She eats a lot of it, and I, as the person who buys most of the groceries, tries to keep the place constantly stocked. Apples, peaches, figs, plums, whatever is in season, it's on our counter. Right now, it's persimmon season. We both like very different types. She likes fuyu and she likes them firm. I like any kind, but mostly hachia, and like them the texture of pudding. So I leave mine to ripen, which can take days to weeks sometimes. Neither of us likes the other's style much. This week we got a bunch of each at the farmer's market. I left mine in a basket in the corner of the kitchen. She ate all of hers by midweek, and I got her more at the market, and she ate those too. I just started eating mine today and offered her a bite. She said, no, I'll get my own. And I said, no way, those are mine. I've been saving them, and you know how much effort it takes to get them the way I like it, and you don't even like them that way. She got upset at this and said this has been my thing our whole marriage. I designate food as mine. All food should be anyone's to eat if that person wants it at that moment, she says. I personally disagree with this, and I live my life leaving her what is hers, whether it's half of the leftovers or half a piece of cake or whatever. I don't just eat things. I consider her, and I do my best to make sure she has what she likes around. And if I do accidentally eat the entirety of something she wanted, I hear it. Believe me, am I the asshole for keeping some fruit to myself? Oh, jeez. Okay. What the heck is a persimmon? I mean, I've heard of it. I don't even know what it is, though. I wouldn't say you're the asshole, but I do agree with her that, like, if it's in the house, it's free reign, like, which is kind of contradicting to what I just said about the previous one, but they're both adults. That was kids and an adult. Like, there's a different circumstance. Being that they're both adults, and have the capability of going to the store themselves and getting things, I would say you're not the asshole, but you could just, like, I mean, just give her the damn persimmon. But then she doesn't even like it his way, so why would she eat it? And then that's one less for him. Things to think about. Not the asshole. It's easy to say that when you're the only one getting to enjoy the fruit. I have a 12-year-old and she would routinely eat all of something until I talk to her. Now she stops when there's 2, so her dad and I have a chance to eat at least one of them. How is it that my 12-year-old understands this concept more than your wife? Not the asshole, but it also sounds like she's eating an excessive amount of fruit to the point where it isn't healthy. Ooh, am I the asshole for bringing my own food to my mother-in-law's house? Oh, can't disrespect the mother-in-law. Alright, this is a little long, so hang in there. My mother-in-law hosted a barbecue at her house last weekend. I have several serious food intolerances as well as food allergies, so I have to be very careful when I am eating food I have not prepared or if I do not know what is in it. My mother-in-law is very aware of my food allergies and tolerances, such as lactose intolerant, egg allergy, shellfish allergy, strawberry allergy, and has been for the 22 years that we have been married. My mother-in-law is one of those people who believe that you eat what is served or you don't eat, and that food allergies are something that people make up in their heads. Oh boy, okay. I asked her what she was serving at the barbecue to see if there would be 1, anything I could eat, and 2, if I needed to be concerned about anything she was serving. Most of everything that she was planning to serve contained something that I could not eat. This is not the first time that she has served food that I was unable to eat. At Thanksgiving 2 years ago, the only thing I could eat were the dinner rolls and the salad. She got super offended that I did not eat and called me overdramatic. If I eat before I go and do not eat anything, she guilt trips me and tries to get me to eat. So this time I discussed with my spouse the possibility of me bringing my own food to my mother-in-law's house. They agreed with me that it was a good idea, but warned me not to let my mother-in-law see it. How is your mother-in-law not going to see it? Now I lost my place. I brought 2 small containers to the barbecue in a cooler bag and put it under my chair. When it was time to eat, I quietly served myself from the containers and put my plate on the table. When my mother-in-law saw that I was eating food that was different than anyone else's, she immediately got upset and told me how rude I was to bring food. I explained to her that nothing she was serving was food I could safely eat, and she went on about how I always have to make myself the center of attention. My spouse told mother-in-law that she has known for almost 2 decades now that I had food allergies, so it should not shock her that after years of being unable to eat at family gatherings, I would bring my own food. Father-in-law then got up and told us both we were being rude and disrespectful to mother-in-law as she has spent tons of money and time preparing for this barbecue. Spouse grabbed our things and we left after a few more choice words with their parents. Our phones have been blowing up nonstop, some people agreeing that mother-in-law was overreacting. Others think I should have eaten what I could out of politeness or eaten before I came. I'm really torn and upset. I did not mean to cause drama, and I am hurt that spouse is arguing with their parents. I did not mean to offend mother-in-law and certainly not ruin a barbecue. Am I the asshole for bringing my own food to mother-in-law's barbecue? No. No, you are not. You are looking out for yourself, for your safety. Something that your mother-in-law clearly doesn't get or wants to get. How can you just think? I mean, I understand. There's a lot of people that have gluten intolerance as opposed to a gluten allergy. A lot of people do say that they're allergic to something just because it's easier to say they're allergic rather than just not like it. Definitely not the asshole. I mean, you were just looking out for yourself. But she has allergies. Did you want her to go into anaphylactic shock? Not the asshole. She would have been offended no matter what. If she invites you and has known about your allergies, she needs to provide something you can eat, or shut the fuck up when you don't eat, or bring something that you can eat. It's not hard to be considerate host. She's just doing it on purpose. Not the asshole. Definitely not. Bring that food. And you were like doing it discreetly. So like she wasn't even making it a point to like point it out to people. So the mother-in-law pointed it out and made it an issue. Alright, am I the asshole for flipping out on my mother-in-law and husband for eating all the food before I had eaten? Ever since I gave birth 4 months ago, my mother-in-law has been showing up whenever she wants, and when she's here, she always helps herself to whatever she wants. She has never offered to help me or the baby in any way, shape, or form. She's basically here to see her son, and that's it. Like 3 weeks ago, I made a small pot of coffee, enough for 2 cups. I went to go nurse the baby while waiting, and at some point my mother-in-law shows up, lets herself inside. When I came out, she had drank the entire pot. I had no coffee grounds left, or she's eaten my leftovers straight out of the fridge multiple times, and she's always like, thanks for the food or coffee, as if I offered it to her when I absolutely didn't, because all she's doing is making my life miserable. I told my husband to speak to her about it, and he told me he did, but I truly don't think so. I spoke up the last time she was here and told her she needed to stop helping herself because she's eating and drinking stuff that I wanted and or made for myself. She said, "Oh, I'm sorry," and then stopped coming around for a while. That was 3 weeks prior. Well, today I made 4 homemade pizzas. I told the kids to come help themselves to dinner and that I had to go get the baby down for a nap real quick and would be right back. Well, it took me about 45 minutes because the baby is fussy. I come back out and all the pizza is gone. And my mother-in-law and husband are sitting there chowing away. I just said, "Are you fucking kidding me right now?" My husband asked what was going on, and I said, "You guys couldn't have even left me a slice? Sure, let's feed the freaking neighborhood before I even get to eat. That's so awesome of you guys, thanks." And start to walk off. My oldest son comes in and he's like, "Mom, I left you a plate." I put it right on the counter and walks over to grab it, and lo and behold, that's gone too. Mother-in-law said, "I thought it was left over from dinner." So my son's apology to me, even though he did nothing wrong, but So my son's apologizing to me even though he did nothing wrong, but my mother-in-law and husband just stand there. They literally aren't saying anything. So I looked at both of them and said, "You both need to leave now." My husband then decides to speak, saying that it was an honest mistake and that no one meant any harm, and said I was making a mound out of a molehill. Oh my god, I can't talk. Said I was making a mound out of a molehill, which honestly just pissed me off further. Yeah, don't invalidate someone's feelings. Don't do that. That's asshole behavior. Alright, so I snapped again and said, "Yeah, except every time your fucking mother comes here, I end up going without because she eats or drinks my portion of everything. But sure, let's defend someone taking food out of my mouth, shall we?" His mother just storms out in the house, and my husband look at me like I'm insane, so I say, "Quick, chase her," and walk out. My husband thinks I'm mental and that this all could have been resolved if I had acted like an adult. He won't come home, but at this point I don't even want him to come home because it means his mother will stay away. Wow. So, I get that you asked your husband to talk to the mother, but really it should have been you. In my opinion. I get why you had him do it, definitely, because yeah. But I do think it should have been you having the conversation with her, especially if it happened after he talked to her, because either he didn't say things right, or like she said, she doesn't even think she talked to him at all. He talked to her at all. And surely the dad saw the pizza when he went out to eat. So, like, he would have seen that all of it had gotten eaten, wouldn't he? And in that perspective, he's an asshole for not saving her any. Someone says, not the asshole. It's not an honest mistake if someone has a pattern of doing something, apologizes when confronted, and then keeps doing it anyway. Not the asshole. Your husband is enabling his mother, who is 100% doing this intentionally. I bet your son has clocked this, and that's why he tried to save you a plate. I don't blame you for not wanting your husband to come home. Sounds like your life is easier without him there. Oh. I don't know if it needs to go to that kind of extreme. Nursing makes you incredibly hungry. This is so not cool. I love how your 13-year-old took on the man of the house role by setting aside a plate while hubby played dumb. Do you think your mother-in-law is doing this to create a wedge between you two, or is she just dumb as fuck? Is your husband scared of her? Again, not the asshole, but again, could it have been handled better? Yes. I think in any situation, anything can always be handled in a different perspective, in a better way, or in a different way. Conversation definitely should have been had between the wife and the mother-in-law, maybe with the husband present. That's an idea. But, I mean, that is really selfish of the mother-in-law. Alright, one more. Alright, last one. Am I the asshole because I won't buy food for my ex and our kids? Listen, when you got kids, you got a responsibility. And there are ways around feeding them by not feeding your ex. If that makes sense. Alright, my ex and I divorced, okay, so they were married when our kids were young. The kids are 12 and 15 now. We have been divorced for 7 years now. We have 50-50 custody, and she remarried, so spousal support is done. Her new husband recently left her. I don't know, and I'm not interested in the particulars. In my opinion, he didn't seem like a terrible guy, and he left her their house. Once again, I have no idea of debt load or anything like that. She called me last week to see if I could please help her out with some food. She said that she had run through her budget for food for her and the kids and basically begged me to help her out. I asked her to give me a few minutes and I would call her back. I talked to my girlfriend who lives with me and we agreed that we could spare some food. We have a freezer full of elk, venison, and wild hog, as well as a well-stocked pantry. We also have beef, pork, and chicken. I called my ex back and told her to come by and pick up a load of groceries. This is where it got weird. She said she didn't want groceries. She wanted me to give her money for Uber Eats or something. I said no, I have 2 weeks worth of food that you can have, but I'm not giving you money for takeout. She called me an asshole for expecting her to be grateful for my scraps, that I was expecting her to be all domestic. Everything I was going to give her was either frozen meat, canned veggies, fresh vegetables from the garden, and pasta or rice in unopened bags. I want my kids to eat well. Both of my kids hunt, and my son, the older one, is a pretty good cook. He regularly makes meals for all of us at my house. Both kids eat game meat as well as store-bought. I honestly thought I was doing what she asked. I told my girlfriend not to bother packing anything up. I texted both kids and told them to let me know if they were actually going hungry and I would take care of everything. Very good. Both kids texted back and said there was food in the house, it just needed to be prepared. Both of them also said that if I was willing to spare some of the elk and hog roast, they would take them. I laughed and said I would take them over later. My ex, however, is telling everyone that I'm trying to manipulate her into behaving like a housewife and refusing to buy food for my kids. Some people are taking her side and saying that I'm a dick for not helping her out. 100% balls out, honestly. I don't think I'm in the wrong, but maybe I'm missing something. Wow. Okay. Okay, so he is not the asshole at all. The mother, you can't judge a person, especially when you don't know. However, he was gonna give you food, which is what you claim you need. Just because you don't want to do the work in order to prepare it doesn't mean he's being rude. You know, that's why there's food banks. That's why there's free pantries. That's why there's food stamps. Now, granted, I'm aware that food stamps are a joke anymore, but it sounds like she just wanted to take the easy way out and just order out, which, how long would that have really gotten her? You know, how far would that have gone? And he did good by, like, letting the kids know, if you're going hungry, let me know. So I would say not the asshole. Definitely not the asshole. There's no reason to be giving her money. She asked for help with food. You are readily willing to give her some of your food. But she doesn't need help with food. She wants or needs money. With 50-50 custody, you shouldn't have to give her any money. If she absolutely needs it, she will have to apply for government benefits. She's being ridiculous. Not the asshole. You're good. Wife sounds awful with money and maybe a little manic. Kids sound like they're dealing with it decently. No one is forcing her to do domestic duties except her economic situation. That's not on you. Now I'm craving venison in a city center while on a 30% off ground beef budget. So to me personally, you're a bit of an ass. Yeah, what was that about domestic? Telling everyone that I'm trying to manipulate her into behaving like a housewife. What does that even mean? I mean, I think I get what it means. Like, so we have food. We have food. However, well, we don't have a lot of food. We have some food. However, like, anything that we have needs to be prepared in some way. So, like, yeah, there's nights that we feel lazy, but that's what ramen, peanut butter and jelly, frozen pizza, like, that's what those things are for. So to just not take the food because you don't want to cook it, like, that's just laziness. I'm sorry. And that's a lot coming from me, I think. I definitely started making more dinners because I'm not working right now, so we are on a strict budget. We have food, yes. However, I'm trying to use up everything that we have to lessen the grocery load. So it sounds like, again, I can't judge this woman. I don't know her. But based on the post and everything, she just sounds like she's being lazy. Although I hear teen boys can eat out of the house. So I don't know. I say not the asshole. But I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Thanks for watching if you're here still. And if you guys want to hear other stories, or if you guys want to see other kind of videos, just let me know. Let me know if you like this kind of video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!